So in this session, we will discuss the derivation of LM curve. And you should know that the LM curve actually shows money market equilibrium. So LM curve shows money market equilibrium. And money market equilibrium is nothing but a situation where the demand for money, more specifically the demand for real money balances, which is obtained by dividing M by P, is equal to the supply of real money balances, that is M by S. So this is a equilibrium between demand for money and supply of money. Okay, now we will show the demand for money part in detail, and we know that demand for money, simply we write it as MD is a function of two things, income and interest rate. Okay, as income increases, demand for money increases, and as income declines, demand for money comes down. That means the relation is increasing, or demand for money is an increasing function of income increasing, or we call direct relation, or we call it as positive relation. Positive relation. This. Okay, now what's the relation between demand for money and interest rate? So as interest rate increases, demand for money falls, and as interest rate falls, demand for money increases. So relation is inverse, indirect, or negative, or demand for money is a decreasing function of the interest rate. Now we will show this with the help of a figure. You know that demand for money is a function of two things, income and rate of interest. So we have here three variables: demand for money, income, and interest rate. So when you draw the demand for money curve, naturally we take one variable constant. Here I am going to take income constant, and we show the relationship between interest rate and income, interest rate and demand for money. So here I am showing demand for money along x-axis, and y-axis I am showing interest rate. You know that as interest rate increases, demand for money falls. So relation is negative. So the demand for money curve slopes downward. And along this curve, along this particular curve, we consider income as constant, y0. Okay, so let it be the interest rate, I0, and let it be the demand for money, MD0. So when income increases to y1, our demand for money curve shifts upward. Now demand for money increases to MD1. When income, so increase in income is shown as an upward shift of this demand for money curve. When income falls, demand for money curve shifts downward. So now this is demand for money, MD. So demand for money curve is simply drawn as a downward sloping curve, showing the inverse connection between interest rate and demand for money. And shift in demand for money curve will be caused by the income. So as income increases, demand for money curve will shift upward. And as income decreases, demand for money curve shifts downward. Now, to know the money market equilibrium, we have to bring in the money supply. And we know that money supply is fixed by the central bank of a country. So it is taken as a fixed variable in our model. So see here, this is again here, here we show demand for money and supply of money. And since supply of money is fixed by the government, we take it as a vertical line. So this is money supply. And the usual demand for money curve is plotted like this. This is demand for money. So equilibrium is established at the point, giving you the rate of interest, I0. Suppose that this is E0. E0. So here we have the equilibrium between demand for money and supply of money. So this is a point of equilibrium. Okay, this is a money market equilibrium. This is the equilibrium demand for money and supply of money. Equilibrium quantity of demand for money and supply of money. So as demand for money curve shifts upward, then interest rate increases. And this is done for a Y0 level of income, and this is done for an increased level of income, Y1. When demand for money curve shifts downward due to a decline in income, then we have the equilibrium here, causing a decline in rate of interest to I. So here we have the income Y. So when income declines, the demand for money curve will shift downward and showing a lower equilibrium point where interest rate will come down to Y0. So simply speaking, as income increases, interest rate also increases. So this is the meaning. Okay, now, so this is the money market equilibrium. So this figure just shows the money market equilibrium. Now we are going to derive the LM curve from this money market equilibrium. For that, first I will draw the money market equilibrium here. This is a panel A showing money market equilibrium. This is a panel B showing derivation of LM curve. So here MD, MS, that is money supply and demand for money. And you have the MS. MS means money supply, which is vertical because it's fixed. You have the demand for money, MD. It's done for a level of income Y0. Let's suppose it is done for a level of income Y0. So interest rate is here, that is I0. Okay, so along the y-axis of this figure, we are showing interest rate. And now, this is in the B panel of this figure, we are deriving the LM curve. And in the B panel of the figure, along x-axis, we show the income, and along the y-axis, we show the interest rate. So we are taking this first money market equilibrium, E0, and we are taking this interest rate to here, I0, and you have a level of income Y0 here, because along this demand curve, demand for money curve, we have already stated that income is Y0. So we are plotting that income here, Y0. So this is one point on the LM curve, with a combination of I0 and Y0. Now, consider an increase in income and a consequent shift in the demand for money curve. You have the equilibrium. So income increases to Y1. As I said, demand for money curve has been shifted to the upward directions. You have the equilibrium point here between demand for money and supply of money, E1, and correspondingly you have the interest rate I1. You are taking this interest rate to this level, I1. Correspondingly, you are showing the income here, Y1. So this is another point on the LM curve. Joining all these points, you will get an upward sloping curve, which is called LM curve. So this combination is a combination of interest rate I1 and the income level Y1. So likewise, you can have different combinations. Suppose if we consider a decline in income, then it will come down like this. New equilibrium will be established at this point. Interest rate has been brought down. Taking this interest rate and income, we will get another point here. Y, let it be Y and I. This is an upward sloping curve. LM curve is an upward sloping curve showing a positive connection between interest rate and income. So simply LM curve is also a locus of points of different combinations of income and interest rate that make goods market equilibrium possible.